Hello everyone, Dan Elzer here, your co-host of Zap TV. I want to welcome you to this month's show. As always, I want to start with, I'm being told that you don't hear me? Okay, hello everyone, I'm Dan Elzer. Welcome to Zap TV, this live television, man. I'm your co-host, and to get started, I want to make sure everybody knows how to use the system. So get your phones out and make sure that you open up your text app. That's how you're going to be able to communicate with us, with Wayne and I. You can say hi, you can give us comment, you can ask questions, and that number is right there below, 321-300-7759. The other thing I need to make sure that you're doing is that you have your laptop or you're at your desktop and you've opened up Zap. You're signed into Zap. Because as we go through these things and Wayne takes you keystroke by keystroke, I want you to actually do it. I want to start forming habits where you can utilize this system and start leveraging it for your benefit to give you that unfair advantage over your competition. Also, so everybody knows, this program as past will be recorded. The same site that you came to watch it live, in 48 hours, we'll have it back up and you'll be able to watch it as many times as you want or share it with others in your organization if they missed the live show. So without any further delay, I want to welcome my co-host, Wayne Weaver,
Hi, Dan.
to the show.
Thanks.
It's been a quick 3 weeks. Man.
Yeah, whirlwind, great show last time.
Yeah, so, SEO, really, we got a lot of really good feedback from people on that.
Yep.
And it's pretty good. As long as people are doing it, if they're following that playbook, we shouldn't have a problem.
Pretty crazy, so.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. Our first segment's our expert update segment. And for our expert update segment, we're going to do something a little different.
Yeah, so, our team who you've met through the shows in Zap Labs in California, they actually put out a video, a quarterly video that kind of gives us some of the recent updates, kind of teases us a little bit with what's coming. So we kind of thought, why not just let them tell us about some of the newest and upcoming updates.
So we have that video for you. Just take a couple minutes. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey everyone, the last couple of months have been an exciting time for Zap. Thanks to your feedback, we've introduced a bunch of new features to help you better serve your customers. Here's a quick summary of what we've done and a look at what's coming next.
Zap users have frequently requested the need to customize their websites. With the content customization features that are planned to launch in Q4 and Q1, our goal is to make sure we give agents, admins, and companies the ability to customize their landing pages, like the buyer homepage, the seller homepage, and pages that tell their story to potential home buyers and sellers. The blog functionality was recently launched for Zap users and allows them to create custom content on their website. We think this can be a business asset for all companies and agents in the real estate space and allows them to position themselves as the local experts in the areas they serve.
We recently introduced the bulk import functionality. This lets you import a bunch of your contacts into Zap all in one go. All you have to do is get all of your contacts in a CSV file, upload it to Zap, map the fields from your CSV into our Zap fields, and now you have a bunch of new contacts in Zap.
Last quarter, we released auto-assigned follow-up plans. This automatically assigns a follow-up plan to your contacts based on their status. So you can set a plan for all your new leads or all your close contacts that will get automatically assigned to those contacts whenever their status changes.
So we launched bulk email a while back. This was a feature all of you told us that you really wanted and really needed to have in Zap. The bulk email lets you email a ton of your clients all in one go, so you can use it to send out newsletters or just a way to boost your productivity when you've noticed someone's been online a lot.
So last quarter, we spent a lot of time optimizing our emails to be mobile friendly. That meant we got to redesign everything, the look and feel of logos and text and even new picture layouts. This quarter, we'd like to focus more on giving agents the ability to control those emails with things like CCing themselves, as well as adding additional client emails.
We want to bring you more customizable searches. This includes custom input for things like price, lot size, and square footage. It also includes more localized search options like a filter for style. And finally, it includes shareable search URLs, so you can take the URL itself and have it include all the search parameters that you've used in your search.
The MLS data team is working a lot on trying to get listings and photos faster. We want to reduce the amount of time that it takes for your listings to show up on the site. We also want to improve some of the insights that you guys have in terms of making your listings more searchable and easier for your clients to find.
Zap aims to be a full end-to-end real estate platform, but we're not going to build everything. As such, in Q4, we have started to integrate with vendors such as Office 365, DocuSign, and Gmail, and we're going to add a lot more in the coming quarters.
On the lead management side, we just added the ability for admins to manage leads in Zap. So now admins can assign, reassign leads, single leads, bulk leads to one contact, to multiple contacts, all within Zap. And coming soon, the admin dashboard will give admins a bird's eye view of all the leads in their company. We're also working on building the traffic report, which would give agents and brokers some insight into the traffic that they receive to their websites.
We hope you're as excited about all these upcoming features as we are. Thanks for all your feedback that helps keep making Zap better.
Well, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love listening to those folks. They work so hard for us, and for them to kind of
Exactly.
come from their words, what they're doing, and again, everything they do is for us.
Exactly.
Down at our level.
They're
So I love
listening.
it.
They're listening to
Absolutely.
people.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see what the website edit's going to look like when it comes out.
Yeah,
that should be
it's
pretty
definitely
cool.
some good things in there that people have been asking about, that they just know are the right things. So I love it.
Cool. Well, let's jump right in. Our next segment. Oh no, our theme for the month.
Yes.
Let's look at our theme for the month. We're going to turn Zap upside down in a way, and our theme is to incorporate Zap as part of your value proposition to get more listings. And the way we're going to share with you today is how can we use Zap? It's been known as a buyer tool, basically.
Yes.
It's got predictive analytics, it tracks, it has a heat map, it tells you what's going on. So most people we talk to look at it as a buyer tool, but we can use those same powerful tools to incubate sellers.
Yes, yeah, the predictive analytics, that piece of the tool, works for anybody in the system. So buyers and sellers equally.
And right
So,
now, listings are so valuable because they're so rare
Yeah.
that if we can take the power of this system and get to the members, here's a seller that's about to make a move before anyone else knows it. Now
Yeah.
you're leading the way, and that's what we want to do with you folks today. We want to share with you how we can flip this on its head and really make it work for you to incubate and put you in front of the seller before anyone else, to give you that unfair advantage. So let's get started. Day in the life of a Zap agent. That segment's always about you on your laptop,
Yes.
showing those keystrokes. So if I'm going to go after sellers, what is the first thing? It's the basics, but what's the first thing I got to be thinking about?
Well, we really got to have contacts in the system.
So number one is getting contacts.
Yeah, I mean, when they're in the system, first of all, we know that they're in one place. We have a better shot of knowing that, remembering them, and so many of the things that we can do in the Zap scores and the analytics all come into play at that point.
Okay, so let's talk about potential contacts that should be in there from a seller perspective. So we want, of course, all of our past clients should be in there. But,
Absolutely.
But most importantly, if we're talking sellers, our buyer clients need to be in there.
Yes.
Because once you sell someone a home, the next thing they're going to do is sell it. If they
Yeah.
bought it, they're going to sell it. So we got to have our buyers. Our sphere or circle, a core, we have to get in there.
Friends, family, neighbors,
You
everyone you used to
stress-
work with. I mean,
Yeah, you stress the family and friends a lot.
yes, we always know that sphere, including family and friends, are likely to be. There's always a deal waiting there with someone, and,
Right.
and there's nothing worse than than hearing
That gut
even a
punch.
distant family member or a friend go,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I
person,
forgot.
my, I met a person at work just bought a house.
Yep.
And you have no choice but
Yep.
to go, excuse me, so don't take those guys for granted.
So the next category would be, I mean, if we're going to go for listings, I always say if you're going to put human resource in, if you're going to put your energy into it, go somewhere you want to be. So we want to be in a place where we want to dominate. So being there, hanging out there, meeting those acquaintances creates new contact opportunities.
Yes, go to events in a community, things like that. Be known as an expert in that market.
And then we have my favorite. For a lot of agents that are newer in the business, according to the National Association of Realtors, the number one source of business is people that have done business with you before or your company. So I always like to share, for those people that are new, they're always like, but Dan, I don't have past customers. So here's what I'd like you to think about. Every state requires that companies keep records on past transactions. And we have a 65% turnover rate in real estate agents inside of 2 years. So every single office has some group of people that got in the business, probably did 1 or 2 transactions with a buyer, and then they're gone now. They're no longer in real estate. So for those people that have left the business, their clients, I call them orphaned, because it's not like they moved to another office and they're still working with their clients. No, these people got out of the business. So in those back rooms or in that computer are files of people who did business with your company, loved your company, but the agent's no longer a real estate agent. So I would go to my leadership team and say, hey, can I have all the transactions from Dan? He left the business, and I'd like to put them into my Zap and start to work them. That can give those of you who don't have that sphere a head start when it comes to that.
Yeah, absolutely, great.
So let's say we were there. Now we have to start inputting them. I know it's kind of elementary. We've done it before. How do we get that person in there?
Let's go live, and we will just, I'll just show you how simple it is to add a contact. So, just log in my home dashboard. You'll see a plus add at the very top towards the right. And if I hit that plus add, you're going to see the first one under plus add is new contact. That's it. I can either add an individual contact, somebody I just met at an open house or at the store or just wherever, or certainly I can do the bulk import and bring in hundreds of people from the MLS and the hundreds of people I have in my Gmail account or Outlook or Yahoo, and wherever you might have some folks, or the data, the Rolodex or whatever, but you got to get them in the system. So it's just a matter of bringing in all of those people, getting them in here, and then adding anybody you meet from now on, one at a time. Just get them in the system so that they're in there.
Okay, so there we go. We've inputted people into the system. So that's part one. And if they're not in there, we can't track them, we can't incubate them, we can't
Correct.
do anything.
Correct. Yeah, they got to be in there, including friends and family.
Okay, so now let's look at what's number 2. So come back to us, buddy. The second thing that we want to look at doing then is, again, seller is our focus. Tags and filters. Now, I'm the novice here. So I know I've heard you talk about it and I've heard you go through it. So what are we talking about when we've got a contact and we want to make sure we have the proper tags and then use filtering? Share with us how that works and what it's about.
Yeah, so we can actually take all of our contacts in our database and tag them with anything we want. I mean anything. Of course, a seller or a buyer, but then take it from a seller to a FSBO, to a past client, to, oh, this is a neighbor, or this is the person I met at the store that said, I'm thinking about selling. Like you can tag them any way you want, and the idea is we can tag them and then grab all of those people we tagged a certain way, and grab them all at once and be able to do a quick search. So if I just grab, if I go live and grab, so if I hit my 146 in my contacts, this gives me everybody in my contact database right now. If I just, look at John as an example, as soon as I pull up John's profile, you're going to see just before I even scroll down the page, right under basic info, you're going to see it says tags, and there's some default ones there, but the idea is under this tag, I can simply say that John is a FSBO, or John, is a, I can label him whatever I want, even just as far as past client.
Could be on my softball team. It could be a coworker. There's a lot of different ways we can.
Yeah. Just something as simple as PTA. But that's the idea with the tags. But the idea is I'm going to call John a seller, but then I'm actually going to say that he's a seller, but he's a FSBO that I met, or he's a, I drive by his house, so he's a FSBO, whatever the idea is. So once we have them, sort of labeled like that, I'm actually just going to change him quick just to make sure that he's a seller.
Okay.
So he's a seller, and I labeled him as a FSBO. So now the idea is I have.
Hang on a second. Let me ask you a question. Question just came in.
Sure.
Do you limit the custom tags or what can be put in them?
No, we don't limit that. We don't actually limit what can be put there. So you can, it's as much as you want to break down that person. You want to just label him. I don't know that you need 100 of them, but 4 or 5 or 6 to get that person down. I know him from the PTA, but he's also part of the church. But then as far as FSBO, or I've seen folks do needs pre-approved or cash buyer, or labeling him a 2016 closed client, not just a closed client. So datum,
So that's
whatever.
unlimited for
yeah,
them.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Awesome. Okay.
So the idea is when I've done that, and again, you'll see next to my contacts button, I have 146 people. So if I again click on that number, the idea is I wake up tomorrow morning and I go, you know what, I'm going to spend a little time prospecting. So I'm going to prospect, I'm going to check and see who have I called either a seller or a potential seller in my database. So the ability that we have is to, as I scroll across the page, you're going to see this filters button at the top. I actually have the ability to grab all, obviously, we'd love to have, 1,000 people in there, and we're just not going to scroll down that list and go, well, let me just, check off as I'm scrolling down the list all my sellers.
Right.
So we have the ability to just pull up this filters, and the first thing I would do would be to click client type and go seller. And that's going to break it down once, but I could actually break it down further by just scrolling over and doing my custom tag, and then anyone I labeled FSBO. So now this list, and obviously we just did one, but that list could be, 10 or 15 or hundreds, and you could just grab, okay, these are all my potential sellers that I'm calling FSBOs, and then you could, of course, break that down to, FSBOs and then past clients and things like that to give us that list right away.
Another question came in is, can you tag people in groups, or do you have to do them individually?
Right now, some of that bulk stuff is starting to come our way. Right now, we have to do them one by one. For me, it actually gives me an advantage to actually, especially if you're doing it for the first time. If I bring in 200 people from my MLS,
Right.
I really should go one by one and basically ask myself, who are you? How did I know you? How might I know you? So it
Right.
kind of gives us a chance to get in better contact. Could it happen down the road? Possibly.
So going back to the challenge I gave you folks last month.
Yes.
I said, wake up every morning, cup of coffee or bowl of cereal in your hand, get on Zap, sign in, sort. You could do 5 at a time. You could wake up every morning, sort, see where you are, and then hit 5 and recategorize them so you're getting better and better.
Yeah, it actually, for me, it actually became fun. It was kind of fun to get reconnected with some folks, or
Yep.
to realize, like, oh man, like I haven't thought of you, and so you kind of might make a game out of it, but just know every single time you do one of them, you're just in better shape than prior, because now you have just another contact that you don't just have, you kind of have a better feel of who they might be.
So I can get complex in the search that I want.
Yes.
So after I've done that, you shared with me before that you can actually save that search?
Yes. So once I've done this, so I've labeled seller and FSBO, and I'll go live for just a minute, buddy. So I have a search that says seller and FSBO, and whatever I did a search for, I can actually come up here and just click save this search and label it, and it will always be available for me. So I just did FSBO and save it. So next time I log in, that FSBO will always be there for me, and it will always update. If I added somebody later today as a FSBO, that'll redo a quick search, and there'll be 2 people later today. But it even makes it easier when I can just grab those folks by saving searches, and it makes my prospecting so much easier.
Awesome. Okay, so again, if we're going after sellers, we search sellers, brings us just our sellers. We sort our score, we kind of start to see where our sellers are.
Yeah, the score doesn't lie. So,
So the third thing then that we need to do is be interactive with them. So that's about getting follow-up plans and tracking that ZAP score. So let's talk about follow-up plans for a second.
Yes.
A follow-up plan is simply my digital assistant doing some of the work or reminding me to do work.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, we can't. We talk about this a lot. You know, having people in there, awesome. You know, tagging them, even better. But I can't just go, hey, I have 1,000 people, and not do anything with them, because those people need to know we exist. I mean, it just goes back to, you know, just them
basics.
hearing from you. So a follow-up plan, you know, Zap will actually do some of the work for you, and then just remind you when you have to do, you know, something personally. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, so take us in, show us where do we get those, or where are the plans, and how do we make?
Yeah, so I'll show you. We'll go live, and I'll just show you that. You know, just at my home dashboard, just to make sure everyone knows where I am. So I just logged in, and I'm just to show you where the follow-up plans are. If I scroll down on the left-hand side to manage, and I click that manage button, you know, 3 things pop up, and you'll see one of them is follow-up library. So when I just simply click on that follow-up library, you know, what initially shows up, a bunch of great follow-up plans that have been created for you. So you can click the plus on the left-hand side and look at that and analyze it. And if that's something you want, it exists for you. You could actually hit the pencil on the left-hand side and actually change it up a little bit. Or if you just work a little different, you could scroll up to the very top and just add your own and create your own.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So if I create my own follow-up plan, there's going to be touches in there. There's going to be emails that will go automatically.
Correct.
But I have to create those. And then they can tell me to make a call or go knock on the door or do something of that nature.
Correct.
Okay, so if I make a plan, and this is kind of what's critical if I'm working sellers, and I put together an email, for me to track going back to, you know, I've got them tagged so I can filter them, but for me to track them, if they open up that email, that gives me a change in the score.
Yeah, Zap score changes. So, you know, so anything they do, opening up an email, you know, or certainly, you know, looking at houses, visiting your website, downloading your app, opening up your app, all of that stuff changes the Zap score. So, you know, me just simply, you know, sending them an email, you know, and they might not answer, you know, open up the email for you know, two times. So 2 30-day periods they'd open it up. But all of a sudden, you know, 3 months from now, you know, I've essentially forgot them. I mean, they're in my system. They're, you know, I know they're getting touched in the right way. But that 3rd month, they just open up the email and read it. I actually get you know, that changes the Zap score, and that might be enough to trigger me to you know, I'll certainly bring them to my forefront. They will make me remember that person and bring them to the front of my mind.
So now, if you create an email, let's say, and we know that we want them, come on, a seller again. If a seller is reading an email, we should always have in our signature line our website and our
mobile app,
right?
Yep.
So how do we go about making sure, everybody needs to make sure that you've got your mobile app download. Again, I'm the novice here, guys, and your website.
Correct.
There, because if they click on that, that also would affect the score.
Yes.
So how do we make sure that our signature line is set up to make sure
Yeah, so if we click our name in the upper right-hand corner, so I'll go live and just show you guys this because it'll just take me a second. So if I click my name, and we have this account settings page. So if I click this account settings page and just scroll down a little bit, you're going to see, you know, so any email that is sent from Zap, you know, that I send has this, you know, signature plopped down at the bottom, the same as I have in Gmail or Outlook or Yahoo. So I strongly suggest you do this as well in Outlook, you know, whatever other personal email I have, because every single time someone gets an email from you, with one click, they can view your website, as you see, this one's already done, or download my mobile app. So just to show you how easy that is, you know, if I just simply just click, you know, I'll just type in my website, and then if I highlight this, and then I'm going to just scroll up to this, and just there's a paper clip, and it's, if you hover over it, it says link. All I have to do is paste my website URL in there. So if that's my website URL and I'm done, So now every time I send this email, if someone clicks that my website, they will go to my website. And I can have that say whatever I want. I can get a little more creative with, looking, for the most up-to-date home search. Click here, things like that. You can have that say whatever you want. But the idea is with one click, they are getting to your personal site, or with one click, they are downloading your personal mobile app. And that's, of course, all you.
Can I customize my signature? Another question came in. Can I customize my signature line with an image?
Yes. So I'll just hover over. If I go live just for a second, buddy, sorry. But this is just email signature, you'll see the last little box says image. So if I do that, whatever image I bring in will get populated onto your, into your email signature.
So you can put your picture there.
Correct.
Start to make
Yeah,
your
and
brand.
yeah, logo, things like that. So that you really need to make sure that you take the time to update that email signature so that it's that's your data. That's how someone is going to reach back out to you.
Okay, so now you've got your contacts in. You've got them tagged properly so you can sort and check things out. And now we have our follow-up plans, which we're going to get into some follow-up plans a little bit later to give you some thoughts. I've been taking some notes here. So anything they do, if they download my app, if they go to my website, if they open the email, it's changing my score as a seller. And everything that I put before them, if it has something to do with looking at homes or finding out about homes, I know why would a seller be wanting this unless they could be thinking about selling.
Yes, yeah.
And that puts me in front.
Yeah, they don't open up emails. They don't necessarily go. I mean, you can be bored and look for houses, but
there's a reason.
Yeah. They're if they look at it 2 days in a row and the system's telling you, it's slapping you in the face saying, worth a reach out to this person.
So the fourth thing then we need to make sure we're doing, which is your favorite,
Absolutely.
are the local and property insights. Now, why is that important in your mind, and how does it help somebody who's looking to attract sellers?
I mean, not only are they just, obvious Google SEO pushes, which we talked about last month, but really what it does is it makes me a local expert. It takes, in the consumer's eyes, I look, they know I'm local, and when I do the property insights, they know I'm a market expert. Plain and simple.
Okay, so another thing to take note of, folks, is the National Association of Realtors does a buyer-seller survey every year. And if you break that down and read through it, you can find what the consumer has told NAR they're looking for. So the last one that I read, I made a note because we're going to talk about this, is the three things that were top of mind for a seller going to select an agent to do business selling their home, was that they wanted an expert in their market.
Yeah.
They wanted someone that was like a friend, approachable, that they could get along with, and they wanted someone that had a great reputation. So let's look at that. If you're doing insights, it's SEO searchable, it's out there, and it's your professional opinion. So you've just claimed the expert spot.
Yes, that's a no-brainer.
Okay.
So.
If I do them in the areas that I want to start developing my listing inventory, how will that assist me? If I go into the market, I don't have any homes over in Shady Oaks, but that's where I want to list. So I go into Shady Oaks. What can I use insights, property and local insights in Shady Oaks to get me on the radar?
Yeah, I mean, local insight, just talking about, something that's happening in Shady Oaks this weekend or next month, a Christmas festival, just talking about that, people will find it on your site, in the Google world, and just immediately go, oh, because when they find that local insight, it's on your professional real estate website. So it's not just a regular blog. They don't. I don't even know what this person does, but they blog. But so they get to your personal website and go, oh, this person's a realtor. So never a bad thing. But when I'm doing property insights in Shady Oaks, I am just telling the world, and I say the world, that, oh, I've seen that property and these are my thoughts. Oh, I've seen that one as well. These are my thoughts. So when you start doing more than one in Shady Oak or more than one in a price range or in a zip code or a school district, whatever, it doesn't take long for people to see you more than once. The second and third time, they're already impressed. And then any time after that, it's immediate in their minds. He's an expert in the market without asking, just sort of assuming that you're the expert.
Well, let me ask this way. What if I don't have any listings there to do a property insight?
So you can do a property insight on any listing in the MLS. So all I have to do is go in a house. So it's my listing. I've previewed it. I went to a broker open house. I showed it. So, you know, newer, and it doesn't even matter. I always kind of do it for newer agents because it's like, you know, I have met countless agents, you know, in the business a month, month and a half, 2 months, that are getting listings because they went out and did property insights right away. So, but really it's anybody that, you know, but you can do it with any listing in the MLS as long as it's active.
Okay, so what you're telling me then is if I want to go attack Shady Oaks, I go in there, I do some local insights on the Fall Festival, on whatever's going on. I go and I preview other homes that are already for sale.
Yep.
And I start doing property insights, and then I become SEO charged with people that are possibly searching in that area that are sellers, start to see that I'm the expert.
Correct.
That's a
And
no-brainer.
yeah, it's working. I mean, our folks are getting listings by, you know, and it's working for buyers as well, and that's what
Right.
we've talked about to this point. But countless number of folks that have just got the phone call that said, "Can you come list my house?" You know, so it's awesome.
So then the fifth thing that we want you to be focused on, and this was great, when we pre-show, when we're talking about this, was watched homes. Explain what watched homes are, and then let's talk about how we would do it, and let's demonstrate how they would.
Yeah, so if you have not used it, Watched Home, very simple. We can actually have any person that's in our database, so anybody that we've added in our database. You know, obviously, you know, somebody could be in there, could be a past client, could be somebody we just met that is, you know, walked up and said, "I want to list my house, but not till spring," you know, that type of thing. So if I just click on Jules, and Jules is in my system, so, and he is who I would think or met or know is a potential seller. So when I pull up Jules's profile, and I click on the more next to the log a call and send an email, and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to sign in as contact. So this is exactly the same path that we've done to set up Jules on a, hey, I want to buy a house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath in this price range. So instead of this now, you know, instead of doing that, Jules is a potential seller. So I'm actually just going to type in one address in this search bar. I'm going to type in Jules's, that's a weird one.
Jules's?
Yeah. His address, in his address, this is where Jules lives. So when I click on his address and do a search, it pulls up one list, you know, one property in very, very clearly not listed, upper right-hand corner, off market. But for me to start this process, so what this is going to do is this is actually going to send Jules a weekly email from me on anything that's happening around his house. So he's going to get a weekly email from me that says, hey, these two houses were listed in your area and this one sold. Here's all the data on all three. So, you know, if I'm a potential seller, I'm watching that myself. I'm doing a lot, you know, I'm doing a lot of research to come up with that data. Like, I want to see those pictures. I want to compare it to my house, whatever the situation is. So we actually have the ability to send him a weekly email branded, completely branded to us. They see our picture, our contact information, you know, reviews, everything, you know, all in one email.
So what format is it? Is it like that they're getting, are they getting like an MLS sheet? What is it?
They're actually getting one email, and when they click on, you know, if they open up the email and say, oh, look, this is a new listing, and it's you know, one street over from us, and they click that address, they will get the entire listing on Caldwell Banker or BetterHomesAndGarden.com, any of the sites, any of our sites, and they will actually get the full MLS listing, all the pictures, all the description, anything the person, because we pull from the MLS, so anything that the agent has entered in the MLS, we would get, and they would see it on just the Better Homes and Garden real estate website.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to go back live real quick and just show you what button we have to push. So when I pulled this up, you know, and I see, you know, that, yep, that's, you know, all I got to think myself is, yes, that's Jules, you know, that's his address. If I just click this address that says Get Home Value Updates, that will actually set the process in motion. That is all I have to do for Jules to get a weekly email from me saying, you know, this is recent activity around your home. And it's really the idea that he's getting data that's valuable if he's potentially selling. It's, of course, completely branded to me. So you know, it's kind of a bonus.
Awesome. Okay, so we have contacts going in. Again, we're trying to incubate sellers here. So we got contacts going in. We have tagged them properly so we can search and look at our scores for changes. We have follow-up plan that's going out. It includes our email, includes our app and our web page.
Yes.
And we can use, which is this is a great tool, we can use Watched Homes. It's a great icebreaker too, to reach out to people.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, if it's a potential seller that you're gonna, if you knocked on a door, FSBOs are probably any agents I talk to,
Yeah.
you know, they're using them most for FSBO because it's something that you know, what you said yesterday, still about 70% of the FSBOs list.
Still are listing, yep.
You know, why not be giving them some great data and along the way?
So if I'm incubating my sellers and I'm not here, going to our next thing, on the move, Zap on the move, using the mobile app, what can I do, or what should I be doing in those downtimes with the mobile app to be giving me those opportunities within incubating sellers?
Yeah, so just a couple things. You know, so the mobile app is, you know, everything that basically we've done. You know, all 146 of my contacts in my database are available on my phone. So, you know, whoever's in your database in your desktop, available on your phone. So, you know, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, we can do one of two things.
Okay.
Analyze any activity. So analyze Zap scores. Pull up anybody you want and see if they've looked at a house recently, check out their Zap score, you know, so things like that. So just knowing that your entire database is in your hand, so you can do anything you want with it. Emails, texts, calls, right from the app.
Okay.
So that's big with us having 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, waiting for a client at the doctor's office. But we didn't talk about, you know, show them too much on the desktop, but when we talk about insights, and how much, you know, how valuable they are, and how much of, yes, I do love them. We can actually do them on our phone. So, and that's probably it's really the easiest way to do it.
Show them real quick.
Yeah.
Where do we go?
Yeah, I'll go live on my phone, and I will show you exactly how easy it is to leave a local insight and the property insight. So, buddy, I'm going to go on my phone. So when I bring up, I just bring up my, just click this light blue Zap app, and this is my dashboard. This is my entire database, my Zap platform at my fingertips. So analyzing Zap score, I would just find a person and analyze, any activity they've done. But when we talk about the insights, if I hit this plus quick add, so along the bottom is my menu, and you're going to see dashboard, search, notifications, and then plus quick add. So first of all, since we talked about earlier, I can add a contact. So I'm at an open house, I could add a contact real quick on my, on my phone. But also, you'll see this local insights. So if I click the second one, it says new local insight. I mean, you're going to see this is me just talking about, I'm going to, first one, add a city or neighborhood. I'm going to, just grab a town or, a town that I work in. And now I'm just going to talk about something that's happening in the community. A fall festival, a winter festival, a Christmas play, anything that's happening. The minute I save this on my phone or in the desktop, it will post to my personal website and it will post to the company site. Wow. So we're doing a double bonus by that. So, and that's big to show that I am connected to my community.
So we're back to being the expert.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Okay, guys, so we've got a lot of things that you could be doing to make sure you're incubating that seller. And now, our last segment, we usually would do mail call, but you and I discussed, hey, you wanted me to try to jot down some technique.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Technique's my wheelhouse. He's got this technology down. I'm about technique. So I just was in between him doing things, made some notes here. How can we follow up with a seller? So let me just throw some thoughts at you. Maybe you can write some of these down. If I wanted to go after Wayne as a seller, the first thing I'd want to do is use the Watched Homes. I think that's a great icebreaker. I can knock on the door, I could reach out to you, I could meet you as an acquaintance, and just simply by asking, would you be interested in receiving sales and information that's happening around you? And they say yes. I get his contact information. I go back, I put him into Zap, I tag him, and then I'm going to create this as my follow-up plan. This is what came to mind for me. I'm going to do an email, short email, that's going to be a follow-up to him getting signed up. So, hey, I hope you're enjoying it. Have you been receiving the information? If you have any questions, call me. Short, 2 sentences, signature line with my app and my stuff. Then I'm going to send another email, another short one, maybe a month later. Just wanted to check in, want to make sure that you understand all the codes since you're receiving MLS data. I don't want you to be confused. I'm here for you if I can be of assistance. Another touch. Maybe another month later, I'm going to go and knock on your door. See, now we've got a relationship. It's a warm contact. I'm going to knock on your door, but I'm going to hold an open house. I'll either ask an agent that has a house in this area, or if I have a house, I'm going to hold an open house and give you a personal invite by saying, hey, why don't you come see what people have done to their homes?
I love it.
So now I get you to
That's
come
awesome.
to my open house. After that, all the time looking for opportunity. After that, I'm going to do another short email to you. Hope you're enjoying the information, but I'm going to ask, who do you know that would like to receive what you're receiving? Try to expand around Wayne and his friends.
That's good.
And then I'm going to hit him with another email that I'm going to ask, if he hasn't downloaded my app yet, would you be interested in searching for more stuff? And in the body, I'll put the app instead of in the signature
you
line.
could actually send the link.
And then I'm just going to go knock on your door after that. I mean, 7, 8, 9 months, he gets all this. I go knock on the door, I go, Wayne, hey, just want to check on how you doing, and remember those open-ended questions. I'll go, inventory is so low, so I'm out in the field right now just asking some questions. Who do you know that's thinking of selling? How about you? When are you planning on moving? And the whole time, if I'm watching his Zap score, those 7 steps over 7 to 9 months, watching his Zap score, I'll know if this guy is going to list his home. So there's some technique, a little bit of ideas you might be able to use.
Cool.
So any questions, get them in to us. We'll try to hit you before the end here. But we have some other information for them. I believe that there's a contest.
Yeah. Better Homes and Garden is hosting a blog contest in November. So they're actually, I would love to be able to
participate in this,
and have a chance to win a GoPro. They're every day they're giving away a GoPro to somebody that's writing a blog on your site. So just real quick, I'm actually just going to show. I'm going to go live real quick, and just because that popped up, and you guys are the ones that are doing it. So if I go back to my platform, I just want to show you that if you click your name in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see the second one under website is blog. And there's an awesome video in the support on the left-hand side. I could hit this support, and there's a video that can kind of walk you through that and give you some better ideas. But that's how we can actually get to the blog. And if you're posting one of those, if you post one every day or when you do, you have a chance to win a GoPro. I love it.
A GoPro, guys. So you can go to events, bhgre.com/bhgre-zap-blog-contest for more information and to make sure that you can participate in this contest. So get blogging.
But that starts with logging
contacts, logging in,
Yeah.
getting people in there.
Yeah.
Folks, I think you would be thrilled if in 2018 you could incubate a dozen listings out of Zap that nobody else knew was coming.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, moving forward, save the date, mark your calendar. We're going to skip December for Zap TV, and we'll be back. Wayne and I will be back on January 24th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, with January Zap TV to kick off the new year. We got some really cool stuff to share with you. There's a lot of updates coming out. There's a lot of really good stuff. But we also, because of December, to keep you engaged, Wayne's going to be holding a special training event, a Zap TV training event. It's going to be very specific to what he's going to be bringing you. You'll be getting more information on this, but mark your calendar for December 6th and mark your calendar for January 24th so you don't miss out on Zap TV and that special event. So, any parting thoughts?
Well, you know what? This is typically a slower period. I know everyone's still kind of crazy, but when you're home, it's maybe a little chilly, at least where I live, and you end up staying home a little longer. Or we talked about last month, the first thing you do in the morning. But the platform's working, so just strongly encourage you to log in every day and start putting it to work for you. So.
Wake up, search, get your sellers separate from your buyers, sort the score. If you see that seller popping up, don't miss out. Inventory is so thin, you don't want to miss that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the show today. For my co-host Wayne Weaver, I'm Dan Elzer, and we will see you in January.
Thank you.